The officer scans your passport again. His expression suddenly stops moving. He checks another screen beside him. Two agents appear behind glass. One points toward your gate. The other blocks the exit. Your passport remains inside his hand. Nobody explains what changed. Then the screen flashes red. Your stomach drops before understanding. You already know whose name. It is yours on screen. 9 months earlier, everything changed. You were supposed to face court. The hearing was already scheduled. The evidence was already waiting. Your lawyer stopped returning calls. Your bank records looked terrible. One investigator knew everything. You decided disappearing was easier. Not forever, you told yourself. Just long enough to breathe. Just long enough for things to become somebody else's problem. You packed before midnight. One backpack contained your entire life. Your passport stayed inside your pocket. Your phone stayed completely silent. You bought a one-way ticket. No checked luggage, no attention. At the airport, nothing happened. Nobody stopped you at security. Nobody searched your backpack twice. The gate agent smiled normally. Your passport passed without hesitation. The plane lifted into darkness. America disappeared beneath the clouds. You watched city lights vanish. For 12 minutes, you smiled. Then you finally breathed normally. You thought freedom felt lighter. You were wrong about that. Level 1 begins with distance. Distance feels exactly like safety. Your destination knows nothing yet. Your name means absolutely nothing. You rent a tiny apartment. You pay several months up front. The landlord never asks questions. That feels like luck. You sleep until afternoon. You avoid American news completely. You delete old contacts. You change your phone number. You stop checking court websites. Weeks pass without consequences. Then one morning, Marcus calls. Marcus was your closest friend. He stayed behind in Chicago. He knows why you left. You answer despite yourself. His voice sounds strangely careful. They came looking yesterday. You sit completely still. Marcus says 2 agents arrived. They showed photographs of you. They asked about your departure. They asked where you went. Marcus says he knew nothing. You believe him immediately. Then he asks something terrifying. Did you tell Elena? You freeze at her name. Elena knows more than Marcus. She handled your final transfer. She helped hide your money. She also begged you to stay. You told her everything was finished. She believed you for weeks. Then she stopped answering. Level 2 begins with silence. Silence becomes your new currency. You stop using familiar restaurants. You stop repeating daily routines. You walk different streets home. You never sit facing doors. Your apartment suddenly feels temporary. Every knock sounds deliberate. Every unfamiliar car feels suspicious. Still, nothing actually happens. That becomes the dangerous part. You start believing you're safe. Months pass quietly. You find work through referrals. Your financial skills become valuable. Clients appreciate your discretion. They never ask your surname. You never volunteer the truth. Money begins arriving regularly. Your life becomes almost comfortable. Then Elena sends one message. No greeting, no explanation. Just 6 words appear. Stop moving money through Marcus. You read it twice. You call her immediately. The number no longer works. You try another number. That one disconnects too. You stare at your screen. Something has changed again. You just don't know what. Level 3 begins underground. Your clients become increasingly nervous. One cancels without explanation. Another demands cash instead. A third disappears completely. Their silence feels coordinated. Across the ocean, agents work. They do not know your location, but they know your pattern. Bank transfers reveal movement. Phone records reveal relationships. Travel records reveal borders. Old photographs reveal your face. Your passport becomes the key. The FBI requests international assistance. Your domestic case becomes larger. Someone builds a complete profile. Birth date, passport number, aliases, associates, previous addresses, known financial connections, recent photographs, places you might return, people you might trust. Marcus appears inside that file. So does Elena. Neither knows the whole picture. That's what makes it dangerous. Level 4 begins with paperwork. The FBI submits its request. Interpol reviews the documentation. The request becomes internationally visible. Your name enters shared systems. Border authorities can access it. Airports become potential traps. You know none of this yet. You're eating breakfast downtown. Your phone suddenly loses service. You restart it twice. Nothing changes. Then your banking app opens. Your primary account shows restricted. You check the second account. That one is restricted too. Your hands become completely cold. You call customer support. They refuse to explain. They mention compliance review. You understand what that means. Someone has noticed you. You just don't know who. Level 5 begins with money. Money was supposed to protect you. Instead, money creates fingerprints. Every payment leaves evidence. Every transfer creates timing. Every client creates another connection. You start withdrawing everything. That makes matters worse. Large withdrawals trigger questions. Smaller withdrawals create patterns. Either way, records remain. You switch banks. The new account lasts 3 weeks. Then it freezes too. You stare at the notification. No explanation accompanies it. Your phone rings immediately afterward. Unknown number. You almost ignore it. Then you answer. Nobody speaks for seconds. Finally, a woman's voice. You shouldn't have answered. You recognize Elena immediately. Her voice sounds exhausted. She says she made mistakes. You ask where she is. She refuses to tell you. You ask what happened. She gives one sentence. They already know about me. The call ends. You don't sleep that night. Level 6 begins with betrayal. Marcus disappears the next morning. His apartment has been emptied. His phone goes straight voicemail. His workplace says nothing. You realize he's frightened. Fear makes people unpredictable. Across the ocean, agents interview him. They show him financial records. They show photographs. They ask simple questions. Where did you go? Who helped you leave? Where does your money move? Marcus answers what he knows. He doesn't need to betray you. The records already speak. Elena's name appears repeatedly. Marcus's name appears beside hers. Your entire network becomes visible. The case grows teeth. You move apartments that evening. You leave everything behind. Clothes, furniture, documents, memories. You carry only necessities. Again, one bag. The same pattern repeats, except now you're afraid. Level 7 begins with movement. You choose another country. The flight looks completely ordinary. Your passport still works. You board without resistance. You reach the destination. Nobody stops you. You almost laugh afterward. Maybe the system missed you. Maybe the warning was exaggerated. Then your hotel calls. Sir, please come downstairs. You ask why. The manager refuses to explain. 2 local officers are waiting. Your heartbeat becomes deafening. They request identification. You hand over your passport. The officer scans it. Nothing appears immediately. He scans it again. Then he looks at you. Please wait here. He walks into another room. You consider leaving. You don't move. Minutes become impossible to measure. Then the officer returns. Everything is fine. You retrieve your passport. You walk outside trembling. But something feels different. Level 8 begins with paranoia. You stop trusting airports. You stop trusting hotels. You stop trusting banks. You stop trusting phones. You stop trusting people. Freedom becomes a shrinking circle. You can still move, but every movement creates evidence. Your world becomes smaller. Then Elena calls again. This time she sounds desperate. You need to listen. You say nothing. Your case went international. Your throat tightens instantly. She explains the notice. The FBI requested your location. Interpol circulated the information. Countries decide what happens next. There is no single global warrant. There doesn't need to be. Your identity is now searchable. Your passport can trigger alerts. Your photograph can trigger questions. Your fingerprints can confirm everything. You ask Elena why. She says, because you ran. You tell her she helped. Silence fills the connection. I know, she whispers. Then she says something worse. They know that too. The call ends again. Level 9 begins with fear. You don't leave your apartment. 3 days pass. Your food runs low. Your phone stays powered off. Your curtains stay closed. You hear footsteps outside. They stop beside your door. You hold completely still. The footsteps continue away. Nothing happens. That's almost worse. You finally leave at night. You take unfamiliar streets. You reach a quiet cafe. Someone sits behind you. You notice them in reflection. They aren't looking at you. You still leave immediately. Outside, your phone vibrates. One message from Marcus. Don't trust Elena anymore. You stop walking. Then another message arrives. They're watching her too. You read both messages again. The phone goes completely silent. Level 10 begins with consequences. You return to your apartment. Your door looks untouched. Nothing appears missing. But one thing has changed. Your passport lies on the table. You never left it there. Your blood runs cold. Someone entered your apartment, or someone wants you believing that. Either possibility is terrifying. You grab your bag. You leave through another exit. You never return. Across the ocean, Marcus talks. He gives investigators Elena's address. Elena realizes too late. Her phone rings. She doesn't answer. Agents arrive anyway. They ask about you. She refuses everything. Then they show evidence. Transfers, messages, photographs, travel records. Elena finally understands. The system doesn't need confessions. It needs enough connections. Level 11 begins at dawn. You reach another airport. You need to disappear again. Your ticket is legitimate. Your passport is genuine. Your identity remains unchanged. The departure board looks normal. You join the immigration line. People move forward around you. Nobody seems interested. Then your turn arrives. The officer takes your passport. He scans it once. He waits. He scans it again. His eyes leave the screen. He looks directly at you. Two officers begin approaching. One heads toward your gate. One moves behind you. The screen turns red. Your entire body freezes. The officer reaches for his phone. You hear one quiet sentence. "Please step aside, sir. You already know what happened. America finally found you. Not through a dramatic chase, not through some secret agent, not through one brilliant detective, through accumulated information, through every border you crossed, every payment you made, every person you contacted, every passport scan, every photograph, every ordinary mistake." The FBI didn't need omniscience. It needed time. The notice wasn't magic. It was information made portable. Your freedom depended on geography. Their system depended on memory. You spent months changing locations. They spent months connecting records. You kept running forward. Your history kept following behind. Elena's story ends differently. She never disappears. She cooperates when necessary. She tells them what matters. She also tells them everything. Marcus survives the investigation, but your friendship doesn't. Your accounts remain frozen. Your apartment becomes someone else's. Your passport becomes evidence. The plane waiting outside leaves. You don't board it. Another government decides your next destination. A courtroom will decide what follows. For months, you imagined escape. You imagined borders as walls. They were never walls. They were connected doors. Every door remembered you, and eventually, one opened.